Now the second financial budget that will help me to make the cash budget is cash payments budget for a manufacturing company. Now we are done with the operating budget. We are preparing now cash payments budget will help me to prepare the cash budget, which is part of the financial budgets. This is the balance sheet at end of 2018, so it's going to be the beginning for 2019. Now, cash payments budget, it includes payments for direct materials, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, selling and administrative expenses, income tax expense, capital expenditures. So any payment you're gonna make, you need to include it in your cash payments budget. So we're gonna start with direct materials. Okay, so we need to go back to the purchases budget, which we prepared earlier. I need only this row, purchases amounts, okay? Budgeted purchases of direct materials. Now let's read. All direct materials purchases are on account. On account means it's going to be paid later, accounts payable. Smart Touch Learning Projects payments will be 75% in the quarter of the purchase and 25% in the quarter following the purchase. Okay? So purchases will be paid as follows. 75% will be paid in the same quarter and 25% will be paid in the following quarter. Okay? So now we have the purchases from the purchases budget. I'm going to write them down here. So in quarter 1 it was 65,100. In quarter 2 it was 87,000. In quarter 3 it was 94,500. In quarter 4 it was 102. So now for quarter 1 purchases, I'm gonna pay 75% of this amount in the same quarter, which is quarter 1, and the remaining 25% will be paid in the following one. Okay, so 65,100 times 75%, it's gonna be 48,825, and 25% of 65,100 is going to be 16,275. Now quarter 2 purchases, 87,000 will be paid 75% in the same quarter, which is quarter 2, and 25% in the following one. So we're going to multiply 87,000 by 75% and 25%. So it's going to be 65,250 and 21,750. Okay. Quarter 3 purchases, 94,500 will be paid as follows. 75% in the same quarter, which is quarter 3, 25% and the following one. So it's going to be 70,875 and 23,625. Quarter 4 purchases, 102,000 will be paid as follows. 75% in the same quarter, which is quarter 4, and 25% in the following quarter, which is quarter 1 of 2019. Okay, so 75% of 102 is going to be 76,500. 25% of this amount is going to be 25,500. So this is part of quarter 4 purchases that will not be paid in 2018, so it's going to be paid later. That's why it's accounts payable. Okay, in quarter 1 2019. So we have the same thing at the beginning of this year here. So if I have the purchases of quarter 4 2017, I need to multiply it with 25% and write it down here. If not, I need to go to the balance sheet and check the accounts payable amount. So the accounts payable was 20,000. So now I need to add them up. Here it's going to be 68,825, 81,525, 92,625, 100,125, and the total will be 343,100. So we are done with direct materials payments. Now, Smart Touch Learning pays direct labor costs in the quarter incurred, which means in the same quarter. So let's go back to the direct labor budget and find the amounts. So I'm gonna need this row. Okay, so for quarter 1 it's gonna be 30,750, and quarter 2 it's gonna be 42,000, in quarter 3 it's gonna be 45,750, in quarter 4 it's gonna be 49,500. For the total here it's gonna be 168,000. Now, for the manufacturing overhead, I need to go back to the manufacturing overhead budget. Now, for the manufacturing overhead, Smart Touch Learning makes cash payments for these costs in the quarter incurred, so in the same quarter. Keep in mind that we are calculating cash payments. Therefore, non-cash expenses are not included in the cash budget. Non-cash expenses. So he's talking about depreciation. The most common non-cash expense is depreciation. Remember that depreciation is the allocation of an asset's cost to an expense account over the life of the asset. So I'm not paying this amount. I'm just decreasing the asset's value over the life of this asset. The cash outflow for long-term assets such as manufacturing equipment is at the time of purchase. So if we look at the manufacturing overhead budget, we have variable and we have fixed. This is the variable and this is the fixed. Okay, but again, I will not pay for depreciation, so I need to ignore this line. So we're gonna take what? We're gonna take this line only. Utilities, insurance, property taxes. Okay, so let's fill it in. For the variable overhead, I'm gonna take 8,200 for quarter 1, 11,200 quarter 2, 12,200 quarter 3, 13,200 quarter 4, and for the total it's gonna be 44,800. For the fixed overhead, again, I need to include all the cash payments expenses except for the depreciation. So I'm gonna take 15,440. Since it's fixed, it's gonna be constant as total. So it's gonna be the same for all the quarters. Okay, so the total will be 61,760. Now let's add variable to fixed. So it's gonna be 23,640, 26,640, 27,640, 28,640, and the total will be 106,560. Now, selling and administrative expenses. I need to go to the selling and administrative expense budget that we prepared earlier. he said that the cash payments for selling and admin expenses which Smart Touch Learning pays in the quarter incurred. So it's gonna be paid in the same quarter. Again, non-cash expenses will not be included in the cash payments budget. So I'm not gonna include depreciation expense. Okay? So we're gonna pay all of them except for the depreciation. So salaries expense was 30,000 in each quarter, so the total will be 120. For the rent expense, it was 25,000 in each quarter, so the total will be 100. For the insurance expense, it was 2,500 in each quarter, so the total was 10,000. For the supplies expense, it was variable expense, it was changing, so it was 2,500, 2,750, 3,000, 3,250, so the total will be 11,500. Total payments for selling and admin, I need to add all of the expenses. Okay, now income tax expense. The financial accountant has projected income tax expense to be 70,000 for the year. So payments will be made in 4 equal installments during the 4 quarters. So I need to divide the 70,000 by 4 to get the payment per quarter, which is 17,500. So it's going to be 17,500 in quarter 1, 17,500 in quarter 2, 17,500 in quarter 3, 17,500 in quarter 4, and last for the total it's going to be 70,000. Okay, now capital expenditures. Cash payments for capital expenditures include the manufacturing equipment purchased on January 2nd of 2019 for 160,000. So this is the cost for the equipment purchased. That will be paid in 80,000 installments in the first and second quarters of 2019. Okay, so I'm gonna pay 80,000 in quarter 1 and another 80,000 in quarter 2 and nothing in quarter 3, nothing in quarter 4, so the total will be 160,000. Okay, now cash payments budget, we're gonna add all of our payments. So we did direct materials, then direct labor, then manufacturing overhead, then selling and admin expenses, then income tax, then capital expenditures, and here I need to add all of them together. Okay, so we need to add all of them to get total cash payments before interest. Okay, because we're gonna talk about interest in the cash budget in the following video. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, please leave a comment. Please like, share and subscribe.